Hi, welcome back. Certainly glad you could join me today. I think today we'll just do a fantastic little painting that'll just make you happy. So I tell you what, let's start out and have them run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with us here. And while they're doing that, let me show you what I've got done up here. I have my standard old 18 by 24 inch pre-stretched double prime canvases we always use. And I found some masking tape here in the studio, so I just sort of put that around like so and took a can of spray paint and painted the edges. I thought we'd just do something easy, and it's a lot of fun, something a little different, so let's do it. Let's start out with an old 2-inch brush today, and we'll go right into a little phthalo blue. What the heck? Let's go into a little phthalo blue. And we don't need much, it's quite strong, just a little. Just tap the bristles right in there. Okay, let's go up in here and let's just build us a happy little sky today. As I say, it's a fantastic day here, and I hope it is wherever you're at, and so I thought we'd do a painting that just reflects that. There. Just using little crisscross strokes, let's just drop in a quick little sky. And I've chosen phthalo blue because it's very similar to the color that we sprayed the canvas with. And you can do this in any color. This just happens to be what we had here, so that's what we used. There. Okay, and that easy, we've got a nice little sky. And just blend it till it's nice and soft, and it's continually mixing with the liquid white, which is on the canvas, and that way it gets softer and softer toward the horizon, and that's exactly what we're looking for today. All right. Okay, I'll tell you what, while we have that color on the brush, let's add a little more, and I'm going to reach over here and get the least little touch of phthalo green. Don't need much, just want enough to flavor the blue a little, just a tiny bit, okay? Now then, maybe we'll have a little water in here. Shoot, if you've painted with me before, you know that I'm an absolute fanatic for water. I love it. There. Okay, a little bit more color. We'll come from the other side, just like so. There. And then very lightly and very gently, we'll just go across the entire water area here. And that sort of blends it together and makes it nice and soft. Now, the most fun part of all this is washing the brush, so let's do that. Just shake it off and, and cover everybody in the room. All right, maybe in our world today, maybe we have a little cloud. Maybe we'll use a fan brush today to make a little cloud. Just load both sides full of titanium white. And let's go right up in here and decide where our little cloud lives. Maybe we have a little cloud in our world that just sort of hangs around right here, like so. There he is. And I'm using just the corner of the brush, making tight little circles. That's all we're doing. Just very tight little circles. There. Okay, now I'm going to get a 2-inch brush, be sure it's dry, and very gently, using just the corner again, just blend it. Just blend the base of the cloud out. And then very gently fluff it up a little bit and do like that. And that easy, you have a very effective little cloud. Maybe, tell you what, maybe in our world, maybe there's several layers of clouds floating around up here. So we'll just have another one right here. Right there. And when you're doing your painting, you put as many or as few clouds in it as you want. Up to you. Good, clean, dry brush. Be sure your brush is dry. If it's got thinner in it, when you touch a cloud, it's going to get very thin and diluted, and you're not going to be able to blend it like this. But you can put as many layers of these in it as you want, just one after the other. See there? There we go. And I always beat the brush just to knock out any excess paint, because it's continually picking up a little paint. So just by beating it, you don't have to go through that entire cleaning procedure. There. Maybe today in our world, we have, let's see, tell you what, let's have a nice mountain in here. And for that, I'm going to go into some black. We'll use a little of the blue. We use a little Prussian blue, alizarin crimson, maybe even a little brown. What the heck? Just mix it up, pull it out as flat as you can get it, and cut off a little roll of paint. It lives right out there on the edge of your knife. Okay? Maybe our big mountain lives, where does it live? Maybe it comes right down here. I don't know, maybe it goes right on off the canvas. That's always sort of interesting when you have one that just sort of lives way up there in the sky. Maybe back in here, wherever. Put another little one right there, and just sort of let him float around in that direction. Just sort of make a decision and put it wherever you think it should be. And that's really all you have to do. There. Now then, with a clean, dry 2-inch brush, we want to grab this and pull it. That does two things. It removes excess paint, so the next layer sticks easier. And it makes your mountain get lighter and lighter toward the base. And that's exactly what we're looking for. There we go. And just blend it till it just sort of floats up there in the sky. There. And that easy. We've got our base color for a very nice little mountain. We'll use a little titanium white today. What the heck? Take a little white. Also pull it out as flat as you can get it and go down, cut across, and get our little roll of paint. It's very important. Maybe we'll start right here. And you can play little games and have fun with this. No pressure. Absolutely no pressure with a knife. You're just barely touching it. And we'll take a little touch of, we'll use a little phthalo blue, maybe a little touch of black in it. And we'll make us a nice shadow color. Something like so. Okay, once again, our little roll of paint. We go right up here and decide where the shadows are. There's one. Here comes one. Goes distinctly through that one. There. And you can put shadows just wherever you think the light would strike. Now, nice clean brush. I want to just create the illusion of mist. I want to tap that very gently. Very gently. 2 hairs and some air. And sometimes it's fun when you're doing mountains to play games with which one's in front and which one's in back, but make up little stories in your mind. Maybe this mountain lives right here and it comes, look at there, see? Distinctly in front. There we go. Also, sometimes it's very nice to have a little cloud that floats along and goes right in between those. So I'm going to add at least a little touch of liquid white to the paint right on the fan brush. The liquid white's to make it a little thinner because a thin paint will stick right up here without messing everything up. And we can put a happy little cloud that lives right in here between these two. Clean, dry brush, very gently. Float it a little bit, there. And that'll give us the impression that there's a little cloud up there. And we can bring this right on distinctly through. Okay. Now then, back to my titanium white. And let's begin putting some highlights on this mountain over here. No pressure, absolutely no pressure. The most gentle touch. Just float right through here. Zoom. Absolutely no pressure. Let's go to this big one here. Here it comes, right there. And your paint has to be very firm, or you won't get this breaking. And this breaking is what makes your mountain so pretty. There. And just begin working it. Let it go. Just let it go. On the other side, we're going to have shadows coming right down through here. No pressure, though, once again. Got to make those little noises or it doesn't work right. There. Now, and you can continue to work back and forth. Maybe we want to put some nice bumps and ridges out here on this mountain. There they come. Just sort of let your imagination be your guide here. There. Back to our shadow color, because every time you have a little projection out here, you need a shadow behind it. It needs its own distinct shadow. And here and there you can touch a dark base color a little bit and just let a little of that flow right down. Just play games with light and dark. And that's what'll make your mountain so fantastic. There. Wherever you think these little things should be. A little bit of our shadow color here and there. Right in there. Shoot, we're going to mess around and have us a mountain here. Okay, let's just tap now. We want to create the illusion of mist down at the base of this big old mountain. Tap, and then we lift upward, following the angles in the mountain. And all this does is remove the tap marks and blends everything together. Just blends it together. Over here, we'll follow these angles. It's most important, though, that you follow these angles. There. Right in here. And sometimes, it's a lot of fun just to play some games. Watch here. Watch here. Maybe in our world, there's another little mountain that lives right there. Put a little dark in. And this is a way of creating the illusion of distance in your painting when you have layer after layer of these things. Scrape off the excess. We'll go back to our titanium white. Put a little highlight right here on this one too. Shoom. Just let him go. No pressure. I can't say that enough times, and I say it over and over because this is one of the major problem areas that I hear in letters and stuff. Hard time making the paint break. And the reason normally is either one of two things: too much pressure, or the paint is too thin. Mix up a little more shadow color here. Ran out. Then we can put us a little shadow right in there. See how you can move things around? You have unlimited power on this canvas. You can literally move mountains. Now, once again, let's grab that, tap a little bit, create that misty illusion. Okay, then just blend it like so. And we can take a little bit of that shadow color on the brush, maybe there's a little foothill that lives right here, just using the corner of the brush. Maybe there's a little foothill. But all these different planes create the illusion of distance. And watch here, watch here. Sometimes you can get a little crazy and watch. See how to push that foothill back and bring that mountain forward? Isn't that fantastic? And you can do that. You can do that. Blend it. Now you have a foothill behind the mountain. That easy though. You can change your mind, push mountains around and move rivers, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. Okay. Tell you what, wipe off the old knife. Let's mix up a little bit of lavender color here, and for that we'll use a little phthalo blue and alizarin crimson. Proportionately much more crimson than blue. We'll make a nice lavender, and if you want to see what color your lavender is, take a little white and mix some color with it, because you can't tell, that just looks black, so put a little color there, and that's just right. Let me clean off my knife. We'll grab us a fan brush. Tell you what, let's go right into a little of that. I'll pick up some white. There. Just make sort of a nice lavender color. Maybe even a little more of the crimson. Oh, I like it better. But just mix this till it's the right flavor. There. And maybe back here in our world, yeah, there's some little evergreens that live back here. Some little trees that are far away. Just little doers. There. And if you have trouble making your paint stick over the top of this other, add the least little touch of paint thinner. But it takes very little. Very little. Don't get carried away. It's easy to overdo. And maybe a few of these trees back here, maybe they're a little bigger and you can make out detail on them. There. We'll give him a little friend. There we are. Now then, I'm going to take 2-inch brush, and I want to create the illusion of mist at the base. And just by tapping with the top corner, we can do that. I want it to be very soft and hazy and very misty back here. I'll just let that sort of go on off into nothing. But look at all the different layers in here. Okay, good. Lift gently upward. And you just blend it out down on the bottom. There. All right, time to have some fun. Let's mix us up some color here. We'll just take a bunch of dark colors. We'll use, there's black, there's Prussian blue, some brown, some crimson. Maybe we'll take that phthalo green that was left and throw it in there too. There we go. Maybe even a little sap green. I want it to have a little greenish tone to it. But you might as well mix up a pretty good pile of paint. Pretty good pile of paint. Shoot, I'll just use that same old fan brush. It's working pretty good there. We'll load it full of color, a lot of paint on both sides. Now we have to make some big decisions in our world. Maybe there's a nice evergreen tree that lives right there. I'm going to dip the brush into at least a little bit of thinner so it'll stick easier, because we're going over several layers of paint now. So we really need the paint to be a little thinner so it'll stick. And I'm pushing upward with a brush just to make a little evergreen right there. Okay, tell you what, that works so well. Let's have another little evergreen. Just push gently upward with a brush. That's all you have to do. There. And you make a decision how many trees live in your world. Maybe there's one there. I don't know, one there. This is an excellent way to practice your little trees, though, so make a few of them. What the heck? We'll put one way over here. Make a few of them. There he goes. And we'll just, while we got this old fan brush running here, we'll just push in a little bit of dark color, like so. There. Tell you what, let's grab the 2-inch brush. I want some reflections under that. So all you have to do, since the canvas is wet with a liquid white, is grab that and pull it straight down. Pull it down. Isn't that sneaky? Then go across. And we have instant reflections. Maybe there's a little projection comes right out here. Something like so. In your world, you make the decisions where you want all these little things to live. Just put them in. And all we're doing is laying down a dark base color so we can come back and put a few highlights on there. Okay, now I need a little reflection under that. Each time you do a little peninsula of land, you need a little reflection under it, or when your painting's done, it'll look just like it's floating. Tell you what, while we got the old brush running, let's go on the other side and give it a tree. We don't want it left down. Maybe this tree lives up there. Maybe it goes right on off the canvas. We don't know. Push upward though. Think about little individual limbs that live in this big tree. There we are. There. Just drop them in. I like to do these evergreen trees. They're so nice. Maybe right on down to about like there, wherever. We'll give him a little friend too. Well, we've painted a whole forest here in just a matter of a few minutes. There we go. Tell you what, maybe right out here. There we are. Well, let's do something like so. Just let your imagination go, though. And look at your painting. Everybody's painting is going to look a little different. And look at it. You may have things that are better that you don't want to mess up. Don't change it just because I did. Go gently across. Now then, I'll take a little white, a little dark sienna, mix it together, and let's put the indication here and there of a little tree trunk in some of these things. Just touch. Won't be much showing way back here. Maybe there's one right here. We don't want him left out. And in our old big tree, bloop, it's a big one. You can see more of it. There. I'm going to grab another fan brush. I have several of each brush going, so I don't have to spend all my time just washing brushes. We'll take a little yellow, and I'll take a little of that color we made the tree out of, mix it together. It has blue in it, so automatically it's going to turn a beautiful green. There. Just get it to whatever flavor you want it. Let's go back in here. Light's coming from the right. So let's begin putting in little things like this. Just a few little highlights. And I'm going to put a lot of highlights in these trees. I tell you what, you know, I travel all over the country and I meet a lot of exciting people. And as you know, I'm absolutely crazy about little creatures and stuff. And recently I had the opportunity to meet a fantastic lady by the name of Carmen Shaw, and she lives in Orlando. And we filmed a little bit of footage with her, and I'd like to share some of that with you. And this is Carmen feeding one of her little pets. This is a little possum. Isn't this the cutest little devil? And he's just very young. And Carmen takes care of animals that have been orphaned or they've been injured, and she patches them up, and she devotes her whole life to taking care of these little creatures. And these kind of people are absolutely wonderful, and they're necessary if we're going to preserve some of these creatures. I want you to watch how she feeds this little possum. He's a hungry little dude. There. And see, I just get to go and enjoy him. She has to do the taking care of it, though. Look at there. Think that rascal's not hungry? He's something else. But I got to spend several hours with Carmen, and she shared with me quite a few animals that she has over there. She has everything from cranes to hawks and owls, and just a multitude of animals that have been injured or hurt. And she does all of this on her own, and I think that's fantastic. And amongst all of her little creatures, she has deer and foxes and raccoons and etc. And she has a little fox named Major, which is one of the cutest little creatures God's ever made. And Major has been hurt, and then somebody even cut his tail off. But she allowed me to go in the cage with him and show a little bit of that here in just a second. All we're doing here is just dropping in some highlights here. There. Okay. See, now we're just pushing upward with this brush, like so. Okay. Now the little fox, as I say, his name was Major, and he's absolutely precious. And he thinks he's a puppy. That son of a gun is just about as tame as he can be. I got up all my nerve and got in the cage with him there. And as you can see, we made friends very quickly, and we had a very good time together. While you're watching that, I'm just going to put in a little waterline right here. And this little devil was fascinated with my hair. Of course, I guess he thought it was steel wool. Maybe it was time to clean the dishes or something. I don't know, but he was fascinated with my hair. He tried to eat my hair off. There. The only thing I'm doing here while you're watching that is just putting in a few little water lines here and there, just with a little touch of the liquid white. But isn't this little fox just beautiful? Just fell in love with him. As I say, his name is Major. There. Okay. I spent about an hour in the cage with this rascal, and we just had a heck of a time together. Oh, while you were watching that, as I say, I just put in a few little water lines using liquid white on the knife. Now then, I'm going to let's have some fun. Shoot. I'm going to put out a bunch of liquid white here. Wipe my hand off there. And with that, I'm going to put a little dark sienna into it. Let's see here. Hit my hand with the paint. We'll take a little bit of the Van Dyke Brown Dark Sienna, and I'm going to go right through this thin color that I've made. And maybe up here, there's just a few little stones that live in here. And all you do is take a side of this filbert brush and just do like so. Wherever you want these little stones to live, just go like that, see? And you can put as few or as many in here as you want. There they go. And it's sort of neat when you want a little stone here and there. There's one even back here. Now then, let's take here a little bit of the liquid white on the knife and just sort of go around these stones. That helps set them right down into the water. We can take a fan brush, a little liquid white on it, least little touch of phthalo blue. And let's just go in here and just begin putting in all kinds of little water things that live around these stones. There, just let it work right on back, like so. Hope you enjoy seeing these little animals. They are so precious, and I love to show them to you and share them with you, because these little critters are my friends, and I spend a lot of time with them. And I enjoy meeting people like Carmen and the bird lady that we bring you here in Muncie and everything. These are special people to me. Okay, tell you what, let's come right up here. Let me pull this tape off and let's see what we've got today. As I say, this is just plain old masking tape that anybody can pick up. And when you take that off, it almost looks like the picture is matted. And it's a very nice little effect. Let's take a little red liner brush and let's sign this one right about here. I think we'll call it finished. I hope you try this little painting. It's very nice and you'll enjoy it. From all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting and God bless, my friend.